Welcome back to Seedmaster Online Training. In this training module, we're going to go through the UP2 Seedmaster tank. We're going to start with the Ultra SR UP2 style tanks. The SR is set up with a few added options over our traditional UP2 style tanks. This includes power roll tarps. Tank 1 and 2 have their own tarps. 3 and 4 have one large tarp that covers them. These are all an electric power style tarp. The tarp controls are located at the side of each tank. This is a much improved tank filling option. With the SR and its UP2 style metering, it has also got the added improvement of an electric drive. The electric drive is a very clean, smooth operating meter, which allows us to hit low and high rates very quickly and effectively and by meter and section, creating a very quick turn on and turn off for section turn on and turn off times. The electric drive is set up with a 12-volt motor working off of our main power supply, utilizing a reduction drive to run very low amp draw on each motor. These are attached directly to the UP2 meter. Shown to the left of the screen is the UP2 meters and how the tanks are set up to deliver together. The tanks are set up with their own individual rollers or a cartridge style roller, and I'll build on that shortly. From there, each tank is set up with the ability to have a slide gate to turn off each individual meter or a tank at a time altogether for meter inspections and or meter cleanout. This is consistent with the rest of our UP2 models. Next, we'll touch on the hydraulic drive. So within our UP2 tank options, within a standard model machine, we use hydraulic drive. These style of tanks all utilize a manual roll tarp, and from there, with the hydraulic drive, they utilize a pneumatic zone command for turning sections on and off. Please refer to the operator's manuals for adjustments and added information. When looking at the hydraulic drive, we utilize a Raven meter motor off of the system pressure and regulated pressure to maintain a hydraulic drive or meter RPM. The hydraulic drive turns a common drive shaft, which then to turn on each meter, it utilizes a gear cluster or zone command shown in the bottom of the screen. The air cylinder or the pneumatic air cylinder is a spring return, allowing the engaging gear to engage the mechanical gear cluster to turn the meters on, and when the air cylinder is disengaged or pressured, it will then disengage the engaging gear, turning the meter off. It does this by pushing the pivot arm out and disengaging the engaging gear. It's critical to make sure that the air cylinder is free moving. These can be manually checked by just manually pulling the pivot arm back and extending the air cylinder and then letting go of it to ensure that the spring return on the air cylinder allows the engaging gear to engage properly back into the gear cluster. All UP2 meters are set up with a fine roller and a standard roller, or otherwise known as a coarse roller. The low rate roller can be utilized for canola, mustard, granular inoculant, and a standard roller can be used for fertilizers, cereals, and products like that. When metering things like peas, the standard roller can be used for peas, and the low rate roller could be used for granular inoculant, and then they can be metered together into the same airstream, utilizing the slide slope that goes between the two tanks, allowing the products to be blended within the airstream. Please refer to your operator's manual for additional information on this. These rollers are all cartridge style roller, which are set up to be able to be installed and removed very easily with 2 quick pins. Rollers can be removed with product in the tank, utilizing the slide gate to shut product off. And for clean out, the slide gate can be installed, roller removed, and the clean out tray can be installed and the slide gate removed for a very quick and easy product clean out. When applying rates, the Seedmaster operators manuals do have a wind pressure guideline, allowing us to view fan RPMs on the monitor through the RCM. Outlined here are some of the tables for recommended fan RPMs. We also have the ability to check air pressure. Depending on the machine, that air pressure is read within the fan plenum before going out to each meter. It's always a good idea to set the RPM by the monitor and then manually go and view the air pressure in air ounces to ensure that the fan is delivering adequate air to the airstream. Reading in air ounces. When operating standard UP2 style tanks and or Nova carts that utilize a pneumatic zone command, they require an air compressor. The air compressor is set up as an electric air compressor which pulls power from the tractor battery. In the hookup tutorial, it highlighted an 8-gauge wire and a 60 amp circuit breaker that is hooked up directly to the tractor battery, which supplies direct power through to the air compressor. The solenoid shown in the image is then turned on and off with the pressure switch and is activated when the pressure drops and it turns the compressor back on. The compressor is staged to set up to run 105 psi as a top pressure. It is very important to ensure that the air filter highlighted in the bottom of the screen is cleaned daily, especially in dry field conditions and or dusty field conditions. The air compressor is intaking air, which will then require any dust or debris to be removed from the air filter to ensure that the air compressor has a long life. Please refer to the operator's manual for additional information. The air compressor builds air within the air tank, which then allows us to regulate the air to the zone command. The air pressure is regulated at 65 psi and utilizes air dryers along the way, which also separate moisture and require maintenance throughout the season. If we're working in wet conditions, it's ideal to drain off the moisture separators daily. The regulated air pressure goes through to the air bank, which is located in the panel boxes on the front of either the on-frame tank or the Nova cart. From there, these air banks are then activated through the RCM and allowing us to turn each zone or section on from the monitor. It does this by throwing a signal through the solenoid valve and applying air to the cylinder and removing air from the cylinder. This is how you can manually check. So it's always recommended to activate the monitor, ensure the air compressor pressures up and turns off at 105 psi, that it maintains pressure, and that the zone command is checked throughout the season. This can be done manually as well by going to each zone and disengaging each engaging arm and allowing it to re-engage. Please refer to the operator's manual for additional maintenance procedures. Thank you.